sure about it.
Correct. Yeah, so a lot of work to be done, I would say.
Sure.
For the good.
So yeah, it's surely not boring. That's
No.
what I could say.
Absolutely not. No. Absolutely not. No.
Sure. So I didn't ask about your book. So you wrote the 10x growth machine, and I wanted to ask from you, like, what is the most important thing that companies need to know about growth that they don't know right now?
The most important thing is that if you are aware of the fact we need to change the way that we work. We need to put the customer back in the product development process. We need to speed up our time to market. All these things that you hear more often. We need to put an entrepreneurial spirit back in the company, right? All these things that we sometimes hear, or you see posters on the wall, right? Or memos that you read. What I think the most important thing is to be aware of that if you go into this journey, or go all in, or don't do it. Because otherwise I really think it's sort of a waste of time, because if you only run programs, for example, to validate MVPs and understand opportunity areas, but you don't work on your innovation accounting system, for example, or training your venture builders in what we have discussed, personal leadership skills, or making sure that you're placing the right bets and that you have a clear definition of innovation within your leadership team, and nobody's pushing there. So I think if you go on that journey, go all in. Or maybe think twice if you really would like to go into that adventure. And I think going all in, you cannot always ask people when you did not start yet, you need to go all in. But I think it's, again, what's the big picture that we try to achieve here? So zoom out on what are the toughest problems to solve. That can be that you need to take responsibility as a company on societal matters, like we started our conversation. It can be a simple, let's say a big thing like we need to grow our business because otherwise in 10 years we don't exist, because the world is changing so fast. But we also have an obligation for our employees. So you have so what are the tough problems that we need to solve where you would like to have the leadership focus on? And then go all in on how to execute.
And what you're saying, that if they don't go all in, they will do like half of the job, and they will be frustrated and maybe waste lots of energy and money on the way.
Yeah, because it's very interesting. I was just reading like 2 weeks ago an article on corporate life cycle venture building. So the life cycle of corporate venture building, and the research was saying that basically the life cycle is 1 to 3 years. So every company, and they named a couple of examples like PepsiCo and Disney and Nokia and you name it. They basically said, look, somewhere starts a signal. We need to change the way we work. We need to tap onto these new spaces and personalization. We need to work more entrepreneurial. You name it. So a first initial enthusiasm is there. Then you start actually working, and then boom! It's more difficult than we thought. And then because you cannot scale, because you don't have the right processes in place, you don't train your people in working on that change component, which is very crucial. If you don't do that, you can never get your return on investment from your venture building activities. Never. It's impossible, right?
Yeah.
And there you see that a lot of companies start initially very enthusiastic. They put up labs, right, and accelerators or whatever we name it. And then within 3 years, it's shut down.
Yeah.
Because people ask, hey, what is actually coming out of it? And then surprisingly, if we're really honest, not a lot.
Yeah. It's not enough. Lots of energy going nowhere because it cannot really grow. It doesn't have the conditions in order to really grow further than just trials.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Like another thing that could, what you said about 3 years, that many of the CEO come for a 3 years period, more or less. They
Exactly.
come into the company, and this is what they're 3, 5, 4 years. This is more or less their lifetime as a CEO.
Yeah.
And what they need to do is something really related to right now. And sometimes when they go, many things that they started would probably change with the new CEO. So
Right.
it's really interesting to see if it has any connection between these changes as the corporate changes.
Oh, yeah, and the only thing that makes sure continuation is in place or can happen is that you deliver actionable and tangible results to the business